Will Sophia's death put Holly in danger on Days of Our Lives? The shocking twist that could ignite a deadly vendetta. Days of Our Lives fans, brace yourselves, because the waters of Salem are about to run red with suspicion, grief, and the kind of old-school revenge that makes this soap the enduring powerhouse it is. Sophia's death has rocked the canvas in ways that feel both heartbreaking and dangerously unpredictable. The question on everyone's lips isn't just who did it, but something far more sinister. Will this tragedy drag young Holly Jonas straight into the line of fire? And why does it feel like the Army family is gearing up for a storm of biblical proportions? Let's dive deep into this tangled web, because nothing in Salem is ever as straightforward as it seems. Sophia's demise wasn't the quiet, self-inflicted exit many initially believed. Oh no! This is Days of Our Lives, where every suicide comes with layers of deception, long-buried secrets, and a villainous hand pulling strings from the shadows. Holly had, in a moment of raw, youthful desperation, openly wished Sophia dead. Those heated words, spoken in anger and pain, now hang over her like a guillotine. Even more damning, Holly's name appeared in Sophia's suicide note, details that the Army family will undoubtedly seize upon as proof of foul play. But here's the devastating twist that changes everything. Sophia never intended to die. Not really. She had meticulously orchestrated what she believed was her perfect escape hatch, a staged suicide that would allow her to slip away unnoticed and start a brand new life in the glittering streets of Paris. Imagine it, the ultimate fresh start, far from the betrayals, heartbreaks, and dangerous entanglements that have defined her time in Salem. Sophia had dotted every I and crossed every T. The note, the setup, the carefully planted clues, it was all supposed to be her ticket to freedom. A young woman tired of the endless cycles of drama, ready to reinvent herself under the city of light. Enter Kristen DiMera, because of course it's Kristen. The woman has never met a scheme she couldn't make 10 times more lethal. In a moment of cold calculation that feels ripped straight from her most iconic villainous eras, Kristen shattered Sophia's plan with brutal efficiency. A rock to the head, hard, merciless, final. Then the orders to her loyal subordinates. Dispose of the body in the river. No trace, no mercy, no chance for Sophia to wake up and run. Kristen didn't just kill Sophia, she murdered her dream of escape and turned a carefully staged illusion into a very real corpse washing up somewhere downstream. This is the kind of seismic shift that Days of Our Lives does better than almost anyone else in daytime television. We've seen families torn apart, secret identities, fake deaths, and shocking returns, but this one feels particularly vicious because it weaponizes grief itself. The Army family, already a powder keg of loyalty, protectiveness, and barely contained rage, will not take the loss of their daughter lying down. They're going to want blood. And right now, all the breadcrumbs point straight toward Holly. Think about the emotional carnage here. To the Army clan, Holly isn't just some innocent bystander. She's the girl who argued with Sophia, who wished her harm in public, whose name sits there in black and white on that final note. They don't know about Kristen's intervention. They don't know Sophia planned to live. All they see is a devastated family burying their child while the person they hold responsible walks free in Salem. In soap opera logic, which is deliciously heightened and deeply human at the same time, this is more than enough to spark a full-scale vendetta. Holly Jonas has grown tremendously on screen. We've watched her navigate the complexities of being E.J. DiMera's daughter, dealing with loss, love, and the weight of legacy. She's impulsive, passionate, and sometimes reckless qualities that make her compelling but also vulnerable. If the Army family decides to seek justice their own way, Holly could find herself isolated, distrusted, and in genuine physical danger. We're talking threats in the night, sabotage of her relationships, maybe even a kidnapping plot that forces the entire DiMera and Jonas clans into high alert mode. The protective instincts of EJ, Nicole, and the rest of Holly's family would explode into overdrive, setting up explosive confrontations that could dominate months of episodes. What makes this storyline so ripe with potential is how it echoes classic Days of Our Lives themes. Remember the great vendettas of the past? The DiMera-Vitali wars, the Kyriakis power struggles, the endless cycles of revenge that define this town? This has that same epic scope. Sophia's death isn't just a single murder, it's the match that could light a fuse stretching across multiple families. Kristen's involvement adds another delicious layer of irony and suspense. How long can she keep her role hidden? Will Brady or someone close to her stumble upon the truth? And what happens when the truth finally emerges, as it always does in Salem? Fans have been speculating wildly since the body was discovered. Social media is flooded with theories. Will Holly go on the run? Will she team up with an unlikely ally to clear her name? Could this be the catalyst that forces Holly to mature overnight, transforming her from a troubled teen into a fierce survivor? Some are even wondering if Sophia isn't truly gone. Days has brought characters back from far worse than a river disposal. A Paris reveal months down the line? A secret survival and eventual return seeking her own revenge on Kristen? The possibilities are endless, and that's what keeps us glued to our screens. Let's talk about the Army family's perspective for a moment, because their grief is going to be the emotional engine of this arc. Losing a daughter is every parent's nightmare, and in Salem, that pain doesn't stay private. It spills into boardrooms, bedrooms, and back alleys. Expect tearful memorial scenes, raw confrontations at the pub, and perhaps even a temporary alliance with unlikely players who also have bones to pick with the DiMeras. The writing team has a golden opportunity here to explore themes of misplaced blame, the dangers of jumping to conclusions, and the destructive power of secrets. Because if the Army knew the full truth that Kristen turned a fake death into a real one, their fury would pivot instantly, and Holly would be off the hook. But truth in Salem is always delivered in the most dramatic, painful way possible. As someone who has followed this show through its highest highs and most outrageous twists for decades, I can say with confidence that this has all the ingredients of a classic super couple threatening, family feud fueling, ratings grabbing storyline. Holly's youth and relative inexperience make her the perfect underdog in this scenario. Viewers will root for her even as they cringe at the mounting evidence against her. The show excels at putting its younger characters through the fire. Think of the ordeals faced by characters like Sierra, Theo, or even older legacies like Sean and Belle, and Holly's turn feels overdue and earned. Could this actually happen on Days of Our Lives? Absolutely. The show has never shied away from putting its heroines in mortal peril, especially when family honor is at stake. We've seen hitmen, car chases, island kidnappings, and more. A targeted campaign against Holly, perhaps starting with social ostracism before escalating to physical threats, fits perfectly within the established DNA of the series. The involvement of Kristen raises the stakes even higher. Her history of obsession, violence, and elaborate cover-ups makes her the ideal architect of chaos. Ultimately, Sophia's death is poised to change the landscape of Salem in profound ways. It's not just about one young woman's life ending, it's about the ripple effects that threaten to swallow Holly whole. The Army's grief-fueled quest for justice could tear apart alliances, expose old wounds, and force characters to confront who they truly are when everything is on the line. So, what do you think, fellow Days fans? Is Holly destined to become the next target in a cycle of revenge that feels all too familiar in this town? Or will the truth about Kristen's deadly intervention surface in time to save her? One thing is certain, Salem is never quiet for long, and the body count and the body of evidence continues to grow. Stay tuned, because the next few weeks promise to deliver the kind of edge-of-your-seat drama that reminds us why we've been watching for all these years. The river may have claimed Sophia's body, but the real storm is only just beginning, and poor Holly Jonas is standing right in its path.